Hello, I'm Paddy from creativemedia.org.uk, and today on this incredibly sunny day I am doing a review of a bicycle saddle from Portland Design Works called the Dios Thronous, which I think might mean Throne of God, possibly. A bit pretentious, but Portland Design Works, isn't that where all the hipsters come from? I'm not sure. Comments below, please. What's so amazing about this saddle, and why am I bothering to do a review about it when I usually don't do reviews of bicycle stuff at all? This one is made of EVA foam, which is the same stuff they make those Croc shoes out of. It's soft and squishy a bit, but it's also very hard wearing, so you can make shoes out of it. I've had this saddle for very nearly 4 years now, and I cycle around 5 miles a day when I'm commuting in the week. Sometimes I do some longer rides, and it's still working. It's amazing. 4 years later, regular riding. It's showing a few signs of wear. There's a bit of perishing on the long nose here, a few scuffs around the sides, and you can see one of the disadvantages of the saddle is that it does show up oil particularly, but you can scrub it off with a scouring brush and a bit of detergent. The fact you can still see the logo there just shows how hard wearing this stuff is. You know, my bum's been on this for dozens and dozens of hours and it's not managed to wear off the logo. On the back you can see it's all stayed together structurally. The screws are still there, nothing's really peeling off the side, the staples are still in place. It's looking pretty good. A little bit dirty of course, but this is the first time I've taken it off the bike I think. The great thing is it's waterproof, it doesn't soak in any water. Most saddles are made of some kind of gel or foam with a covering, lycra or leather, and the lycra stuff the water goes straight through, turning it into a sponge pretty much, and the ones with the plastic covering, that stuff tends to get ripped and torn eventually. Again, you're sitting on a sponge on the way to work, which of course fills up with water. Your bum gets totally soaked, you sit on your office chairs or your colleague's office chair, you leave a damp patch behind everywhere you sit, which is incredibly embarrassing. So, apart from these being waterproof, any other advantages? Well, it actually is very light. For the price, I think they go for about £45 new price, but I've seen them for sale for £15, which I guess is around $20 I think in the States, which is an amazing price because they weigh under 300 grams, which is pretty lightweight for a saddle, really. Without it being trying to be a special super sports one with holes in and stuff like that. And for a waterproof saddle, if it's not soaking up the water, you're actually saving a few grams of weight that way anyway, which is worth doing. A disadvantage is this little scoop in the middle. I guess that's for ventilation, but when it's really pouring with rain and you're trying to scrape the water off with your sleeve of your waterproof jacket, the water tends to stick in that and it takes a bit of time to get that out. Comfort isn't as good as a nice gel saddle or one with lots of padding, but it's fairly equivalent to this kind of sort of race style saddle. I've found if I'm cycling more than about 10 miles or on a rough track, I'd prefer to wear padded cycle shorts because it gets me a better saddle sore otherwise. And one peculiar disadvantage of it is, particularly as the surface has worn a bit, this very long nose is actually quite grippy. This material is more grippy than a plastic cover or a leather seat or a lycra seat, and my trousers get caught on the front. They actually get pulled down, so you either need a really tight belt or tight fitting jeans or something like that, or just to sit on the saddle you've got to sort of sit up and sit back and make sure your trousers don't get pulled off, because this surface is quite grippy. That's an advantage too. You're not going to be sliding off the saddle, particularly for mountain biking. You want a good firm seat when you're sitting. Waterproof is a really big selling point. It doesn't sit there with water sponged up in it, ready to soak your trousers every time you sit on it. But it's light, it's durable, it's comfortable enough. The colours are great. It comes in green, red, black if you like conventional. I think there might be a yellow one as well. I love this bright colour because, well, it kind of says I'm being green because I'm cycling, but also when my bike's parked in a big load of other bikes, I can see where it is straight away. That's really handy. So I give this 2 thumbs up. It's a really good saddle. I can thoroughly recommend it. So enjoy your riding, and don't get a wet bum. I hope it's not raining where you are. Thanks for watching.